What is the fundamental idea of business operations? What is it, at its core Neolithic essence? Well, actually, I'm pretty sure operations management wasn't invented until much later, but operations has been around since caveman days. Boiling water for the tribe, someone sharpening sticks, someone collecting berries, someone grinding grain for flour. Business operations is about processing inputs into higher value outputs. Stuff goes into the system, things get done to the stuff, and more valuable stuff is created. Businesses and organisations that fail to add sufficient value, given the expense and effort of the processing, or who fail to sell it at that value, will lose money and quickly go bust. The most typical business operations work with physical stuff. They take in inputs such as raw materials plus energy, labour, equipment, knowledge, and energy. This is obvious for a manufacturing business, but it's exactly the same for a restaurant or a craftsman's furniture workshop. Then we could also have a physical service organisation, such as a rubbish collection service. It has inputs of people's labour, machines and energy to create a higher value physical situation. The rubbish is now collected and not in 1,000 different bins. That is a higher value output. Other examples might be a tree cutting service, a dog walking service, or a logistics company. The output they deliver is nothing other than an improved physical situation. Stuff has been moved or organised into a higher value state that customers will pay for. Operations management is equally applicable in the effective organisation of resources, process design and planning of these kinds of business operations. The next general category might be customer-centred operations. Now we are back to physical things flowing through our system, but instead of stuff and materials flowing through, this operational system is people. Hospitals, airports, dentists, hairdressers, cinemas. The primary input is people with a need. Other inputs such as equipment, labour, skill and energy is employed, and the output is hopefully satisfied people who typically pay themselves to be processed through your operations. Then we've got information-centred operations. That's another category. The primary work moving through these business operations is information, or at least generically non-physical stuff. An example of this might be a law firm. They process information. They take in information from clients, they add their own knowledge, organise it and present it in a way that is of greatly higher value to the paying client. Another example might be newspapers. The paper isn't an important part to them, that's probably outsourced to a whole other business. The news agency collects, organises and outputs information. Well, newspapers, information. Other examples of information-centred operations include accountants or research teams or phone service providers. Not all industries are so clear-cut into one of these baskets. In fact, the main message of this whole section is to thoroughly debunk the idea that operations management is only relevant to manufacturing. It's not. Rather, all these wildly different businesses and industries share so much in common operational structure, taking in inputs, doing processes to them in order to generate higher value outputs. We're not denying their differences. Managing sick people through a hospital is different from managing legal cases in a law firm or building furniture or running a restaurant, but they do all have operations at their core and share so many of the same fundamental challenges that the field of operations management has so much to offer them all, even if some of them don't know it yet.